Alright, so this video is going to be about competence, or the levels of competence. So psychologically, there are 4 levels that I know of. There might be more, but this is a good way of framing it. And I can't see anything missing from the framework, but if you can, let me know. So there are people that don't know they don't know. So that person is completely ignorant. They're going to be no use at all to anybody. So if you don't know, you don't know, you're in the dark. Then you've got people, so this is working in order of competence, going up from the least to the most competent. So the next one up would be, there are people that think they know. So I'm sure everybody's come into contact with someone like that in their life, where, I don't know, I've met people like that in the pub, where you're chatting away to one of your mates, you're having a drink, there's someone stood at the bar, and they decide to crowbar their way into the conversation and start telling you everything about everything. But the reality is, they don't know what they're talking about. There's the boy, just popping himself into the picture. So yeah, people that don't know they don't know, people that think they know. Now those people are dangerous in certain circumstances. So I mean, imagine a tradesman, an electrician or something like that, and they think they know how to do something, and the reality is they don't, and they end up electrocuting themselves or putting you at risk if they're doing work in your house. So you don't want to employ somebody like that. The difficulty for somebody that's not in that trade is knowing the difference between competence and incompetence. But quite often someone that's incompetent will exaggerate how good they are. That'll be one of the things that they'll display is, yeah, I can do that, that's no problem, I'll sort this out, I'll do that, this is easy for me, and they're quick to tell everybody else what to do as well. So not the best person in the world to be listening to. And then you've got somebody that knows they don't know. Now they're actually more qualified than someone that thinks they know, because taking the scenario of an electrician again, if you've got someone that knows they don't know, then they're less likely to put themselves or you at risk if they're working in your house, for example. So they'll turn around and say, I'm not sure, I've never done this before, I'll either have to make a phone call or have a look for some information on it before I tackle it, or they'll delegate and give the job to somebody else and just say, I'm out of my depth, I'm not sure what I'm doing, I'll find somebody else that knows more than I do, and great, I mean, everyone's happy, there's no problems there, because that person has identified their level of competence, and they're not going to be putting themselves or you at risk. And then you've got somebody that knows that they know, and that is obviously the most competent. So they're going to be trained, they're going to have the experience, they're going to have the knowledge, they're going to know how to do the job, they're going to know how to work safely, they're not going to put themselves at risk, and they're not going to put you at risk. So those 4 levels of competence you can look at, and you can apply them to your own life in trying to figure out where someone fits. So, you know, the 2 that mean the most, in my opinion, are the person that thinks they know, because they're the ones that are going to put you at risk, and the person that knows they don't know. they're the two that stand out for me, because someone that doesn't know they doesn't know, you may as well just write them off, they don't exist. And somebody that knows they know is going to be able to do the job. So there's going to be no resistance when it comes to those two. Whereas somebody that thinks they know, there's going to be turbulence. And somebody that knows they don't know, there's going to be delegation going on. So it's not going to run as smoothly. So that's it for today on competence. So maybe that'll help you in your life with figuring out where either someone that you know, a work colleague, a friend, could be a parent, could be a relative, what category they fall into, and also being aware of what category you fall into yourself. So that's it for that video. I'm going to wrap up there, about 6 minutes, because that's all it's took to cover that. And I'll upload more content soon.